Good morning, friends, and welcome to this demo. Actually, this is our first demo, and I can see some people here. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll just try to take a small, like 30 to 40-minute session today, and hopefully from tomorrow we can increase our time. Okay. So, as you know, this is a demo on cloud computing, and in cloud computing, we are going to learn the AWS services, right? Amazon Web Services. So let us try to understand what is cloud computing first, and then we will see what are the different types of cloud providers we have, or what are the different companies who are providing cloud services, and then we can go in details of the services that we have. Okay. Now, this is a live session. You know this very well, and this session is going to be recorded. Actually, the recording is already started here. So you can use this session to in clearing all your doubts. Actually, you know what is the advantage you can take of having advantage you can have of attending the live session. You can clear your doubts. Okay, you can talk with the trainer and can clear all your doubts. Okay, so let us make this session more interactive. Whenever there is a doubt, please try to send me a message in the chat box so that I can come to your question, and hopefully I can take your question whenever the time is permitted. Okay, now see, I'm expecting everyone to be a fresher here. Maybe someone is having some knowledge in Linux, or someone is coming from like programming background, or someone has just finished the graduation, or someone is from marketing background, whatever. I'm just, assuming like everyone is a fresher here, so that, I can take everything from very basics up to the advanced level. I'll start everything from scratch level, then I can take you to the advanced level. Okay. Now, so let us start our session by the question, what is cloud? So this is one big question that we need to understand and that we need to address today. See, cloud is something that is we are using for many years now. Maybe someone is a fresher who is willing to learn cloud computing. Maybe today is their first class of cloud. That is a possibility, right? But you know what I'm saying here? If this is your first session in your life where you are learning something or where you're trying to understand anything about cloud, what I'm trying to say you is you're already using cloud for many years now. The day you started using internet, that was the day you started using cloud. Because what is internet actually? When you say google.com, where is the google.com server available? It is available in some other location, right? So that location is cloud for you and me. Where is the gmail server available? It is available at some other location, so that location is cloud. What about Facebook and Instagram and all these applications? Where exactly they are running, friends? They are running on some other physical server or some other server in some other company. So I'm sitting in my home, and once if I select facebook.com, I'll be connected to Facebook server, and that Facebook server for me is in cloud. Okay, that Facebook server for me is in cloud. Fine. So cloud computing is a concept where we are using the resources from some other company. Okay, so when I select gmail.com, what is there in gmail.com? In gmail.com, I have the emails, right? All my emails are located in gmail.com server, but that gmail.com server is not available inside my computer or inside my home or inside my company. It is located at some other location. So this is the best example I can take of cloud. Okay, for example, we have this Google Drive, isn't it? Once you create your account, you will get a Google Drive. And what you get in Google Drive, you will get 15 GB of free space. You will get in Google Drive. How much? 15 GB of free space. So where exactly is this 15 GB space available? Is it available in your local computer or local mobile phone? It's not available in our laptop or mobile phone, right? This 15 GB space I'm taking from Google. So here drive.google.com. That means I'm connecting to drive.google.com address. I'm taking 15 GB space from them. So this 15 GB space is available over the cloud. Now, what is the advantage of taking space from Google or Amazon or any other company? The best advantage of taking some space from some other company is we have the option of increasing and decreasing the resources at any given time. Let's say you have a hard disk with you, external hard disk. And let us say this is 1 TB hard disk. Okay, you have 1 TB hard disk available with you. If there is 1 TB hard disk available with you, is it possible for you to increase or decrease the size of that hard disk? The answer is no, right? I cannot increase and decrease the size of the hard disk. If you want to increase from 1 TB to 2 TB, then you should go and purchase one more hard disk there. One extra 1 TB hard disk. So it will take some time because you should go to some showroom or some shop somewhere, and there you should pay money and you should bring one more hard disk. So we have like one hard disk here, and this is your second hard disk. So now we have totally 2 TB hard disk. But again, like I said, it will take a lot of time for anyone to increase the resources from, let's say, 1 TB to 2 TB, or from like 500 GB to like 1000 GB, whatever. But once you connect to cloud, it is very easy for any person to increase and decrease the resources in cloud. See, for example, I have 15 GB storage here. Now there is an option here like get more storage. So I can just click on this get more storage here, and I have multiple options available here. You need 100 GB, just pay 130 rupees per month, you'll get 100 GB. You need 2 TB, just pay 650 rupees per month and you will get 2 TB. Or if you want to get more space here, you can simply get more space by clicking here. Okay, so see here, in cloud, this 100 TB or 100 GB or 15 GB, this storage is available on some other server at some other location. So we are simply using this storage that is provided by Amazon or Google or Microsoft or any company, and we are using their storage to store our data, and we are paying some money to them. Instead of buying a physical hard disk, we are taking a virtual hard disk from some other company. Instead of buying the physical storage, we are taking some storage from a third company. Okay, that company can be like Amazon or Google or any company. So what is the advantage here? Like I said, you at any given time, we can increase the resources as well as we can decrease the resources. So now maybe your requirement is 100 GB. You can take 100 GB now. But again, after some days or maybe some months, your requirement is only 15 GB now. So what to do? From 100 GB, you can come back to 15 GB at any given time. That is actually in cloud. Got it? So like this, we have the option of increasing and decreasing the resources over the cloud. So cloud is something that, it is related to our IT resources. See what it says, Amazon. Amazon says cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. On-demand delivery of IT resources. So what are these IT resources here? IT resources are server hardware, then server operating system, then storage, firewall, routers. We are running applications. So when you take this IT resources like server hardware, okay, then routers and storage and server operating system, why we are taking all these IT resources? We are taking all these IT resources to run our applications. Applications can be any sort of applications like email applications or web applications or file applications or any XYZ application. So whatever we connect over the internet, to whichever website we connect over the internet, we will connect to that website by using some internet connectivity, but that particular website is running on a particular resource, that is a server. Okay, so for example, imagine you are connected to one web server here. Whenever they create a web server, they are not creating web server only on one machine, because if they create web server on one machine, if that machine is down for some reason, we cannot access our web server, right? So we have multiple web servers available. How many? One same application will be hosted on multiple servers. What is the advantage here by hosting this web application on multiple servers? The traffic can be easily manageable. It is called load balancing, actually load balancers. For example, if you go and connect to, let's say, a server like YouTube. So just imagine how many people are connected to YouTube server. Obviously, millions of people are connected to YouTube server as of now, right? Right now, at this moment, maybe millions of people are connected to YouTube server. So do you think YouTube server is working only on one physical machine? That's literally not possible. So what YouTube people will do, they will have multiple servers where they are running the same application. So I may be connected to this server. You may be connected to this server. Some other person may be connected to this server. What content I am getting, what content you are getting, and what content the other person is getting is absolutely same. So these are this simply replicas of our main server. Web server 1, web server 2, web server 3, right? Okay, I did a mistake here. This is web server 2. This is web server 3. Okay, and this is your web server 3. Okay, now to add 3 web servers, what we have to do? To add 3 web servers, first of all, we need to bring 3 physical servers there. We need to install the operating system in 3 different servers. Okay, we need to install the application there, and then we need to run these 3 servers. So today, maybe you're thinking like 3 servers are more than enough for you to run your application. Fine, today 3 servers are enough. But you know, my friend, in next couple of months, your website became more successful. Okay, your website is generating a lot of traffic, it is generating more business, so many people are trying to access your website. So now if many people are trying to access your website, maybe these 3 servers are not sufficient now. Every server has a limit. Let us say this server can handle 4,000 connections per second. This server also can handle 4,000 connections. This server also can handle 4,000 connections. As of now, the total number of connections are maybe like say 2,000 on each machine. So easily it can go up to 4,000. So there is no problem. But again, like I said, you friends, suddenly your requirement has increased. Your server is generating more traffic. So then in this case, what we can do here is we need to bring one more server here, or we need to bring 2 more servers. Till yesterday, 3 servers were looking more than enough, but maybe like till last month, maybe 3 servers were looking more than enough. But now the traffic has more traffic is coming towards your servers. So these 3 servers are not sufficient now. So if these 3 servers are not sufficient, what we have to do? We have to go to market, we have to bring a new server there and connect this new server to the network. And after connecting this new server to the network, do the configuration again, the web server configuration, and name it as, let's say, web server 4. So now we have 4 servers that can handle our traffic. Okay, so whenever there is a requirement, you should add a server. And suppose there is no requirement now, there is no traffic. So what we can do? We can remove the servers. I remove this server, and let us say I'll remove this server also. Friends, if I do this way, if I try to add a server physically and remove a server physically, it's a very difficult job, very difficult task actually. No one knows when the traffic may increase and no one knows when the traffic may decrease. They can simply guess. Like suppose there is 15th August, Independence Day. Suppose there are some offers. Amazon, Flipkart, all these people, they are putting some offers in. So when there is an offer, obviously you will connect to that website. Not only we and me and you, many people will connect to the website. So there is more traffic generated. But once 15th August is over, on 16th August, how many people will connect now? There is no offer. So only few people are connecting there, right? So on 15th August, maybe your requirement was, let's say 20 servers. But from 16th August, your requirement is back to 4 servers. So what about this extra 16 servers that you have added only for 1 week or 2 weeks? What will you do about on these 16 servers from 16th August? They are completely wasted there, right? So if you go with your on-premise network, you can have a guess. You can simply guess, okay, at this particular time, there is an offer. So at this particular time, there can be more traffic on my server. So we can add them. But again, adding the physical servers will take a lot of time. We need to physically bring the servers, physically install the OS, physically install the applications, do the configuration, and then connect. And then, it will start working. So it will take a lot of time. Suddenly, within 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, we cannot increase the limit. This is what we have. This is the issue we have in our physical setup for many decades now. Okay, I hope you are able to follow me. the requirement was 4 servers. So every day we are using 4 servers. Traffic is easily manageable. There is no problem here. But due to some, offers or due to some festivals, the traffic will increase on our servers. So from 4, it will go up to 20 servers. So we need to add 16 more servers. So adding this 16 extra server is not easy. So what we do here is, instead of, adding servers physically, we will just go and connect to the cloud. In cloud, what we do, the same web servers we are adding in cloud. The same web servers we are adding in cloud. And what we do in cloud, there are certain options available in cloud, like there is something called auto scaling available. What is this auto scaling? Auto scaling is an option where it will simply increase and decrease our resources according to the requirement. Auto scaling is an option where it will suddenly add 10 more servers and it can suddenly remove 10 more servers. So if there is a requirement, 10 servers will be added. If there is no requirement, 10 servers can be removed. So as of now, let us say you need only 2 servers. So 2 servers are running there perfectly, no problem. But within some days or within some months, maybe you need to add more servers. So what this auto scaling will do here is, it will automatically detect your requirement. It will automatically identify your requirement. It will say, okay, now a lot of requests is coming on this server, lot of traffic is coming on this server. So 2 servers are not sufficient now. Let me add one more server. A third server will be added in cloud. Again, what happens now? Auto scaling, suppose imagine it has identified like, okay, many people or many requests are coming to this server. So 3 servers are not enough now. So what auto scaling will do? Automatically it will add one more server. Automatically means actually we have to configure auto scaling. Once you configure auto scaling, according to our configuration, services will be added, services will be removed, or servers will be added, servers will be removed. So whenever there is a need, servers will be automatically added, and whenever there is no need, servers will be automatically removed. This concept is called auto scaling concept, and this concept is available in cloud computing. So in cloud computing, we can take the resources, we can take the on-demand resources, that is good, and we can take resources according to our need. Okay, and we can do certain configurations there where according to our requirement, the resources can automatically increase and the resources will automatically decrease. Instead of we monitoring our requirement every now and then, we can simply, increase and decrease the resources according to our need. This is your one of the excellent feature we have in cloud, that is called auto scaling. Okay, so what we do in cloud here, friends, in cloud, we will simply run our applications and servers, and we will run our applications and servers, applications on top of the servers by taking the server from a cloud provider, and we will pay according to our usage. So right now, suppose the requirement is only for like 2 servers. So we are paying money only for 2 servers. But suppose after some days, your requirement is 3 server. Now you are paying money for 3 server. If it is 4, you are paying money for 4. And suppose after like maybe some months, maybe your business is so successful that you need maybe, let us say, 30 servers. So how much we are paying now? We are paying money for 30 servers. So if there is a demand, there is no harm in paying that much money, right? So it depends on our requirement. The resources can go up, the resources can come down. This is one of the excellent feature we have in cloud. Okay, so there are many more things we need to discuss in cloud. So hopefully, let's meet tomorrow again, and let us see what we can do tomorrow. Today it was just a very simple and basic introduction session, and hopefully let's see tomorrow some more people will join us, so we can just go with more details about this cloud and all those things from tomorrow. Okay, as of now, I'm just stopping the session here. I'm not continuing with this session. Okay, so let's see how many people will come tomorrow. According to that, we will take a call.
Sure, sir.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you tomorrow, and hopefully the other people will join tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Sure, sir. Thanks. Bye.